Do you just want to have way too much money while you're leveling up and never worry about the cost of armor repairs, riding training, or new gear? Want to just buy the fastest flying in the game? Well, it's actually pretty easy to make a lot of cash while you're leveling, if you do it right. And besides getting a lot of gold, you might even level up a little bit faster. So what do you do to get that much cash while leveling up a new character? It's not actually all that complicated or secret at all. You just want to take up double gathering professions. There's mining, skinning, and herbalism, and you just pick 2 of those, but I do have some recommendations. And you'll just go out into the world, gather some crafting materials, and sell them on the auction house. Generally, anything you gather will sell pretty well, but some things might depend on your server. When I was leveling, I was playing on the US Illidan server, and I had about 25,000 gold after hitting level 110 on my High Mountain Torn Hunter, somewhere around mid to late February. However, with what I did to get most of that gold, the time and date shouldn't really matter. When it comes to picking out what professions you want for a new character, I would go with mining and herbalism. Unlike skinning, gathering from herbalism or mining nodes out in the world will grant some experience. It's a pretty good amount of experience too, and it can really add up over time. With skinning though, you don't really look for nodes. You look for beasts to kill, and you kind of make your own nodes, or corpses, to skin. When you're playing a spec with good area damage, like arms warriors maybe. You can make a lot of skinning nodes at once and gather a lot of skins. Whichever 2 professions you choose, you'll be gathering crafting materials and you'll sell those materials on the auction house. And having 2 gathering professions is great because it kind of gives you 2 different revenue streams. Ooh, I kind of sound like a businessman there. Ooh, before you visit the auction house, make sure you fill out your company's balance sheet and expense report. And, okay, no. But really, you reach 2 different types of buyers when you sell different types of crafting materials. Ores and bars from mining will get bought up by blacksmiths and jewel crafters and engineers. Herbs will go to alchemists and scribes, and leather workers obviously want skins and animal hides. There's also tailors that'll buy any cloth that drops from humanoids, and enchanters that'll buy uncommon or green gear to break down into enchanting materials. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. With that dual income from double gathering, you can get a really quick jump on making gold in WoW. Gathering is generally the best way to get some starting gold. Later you can branch off into other professions so you can transform those materials into usable items. Production professions can make all kinds of things like potions and enchantments, gear, or even collectible pets and mounts. But the thing is, they take a lot of materials or money to get into, so I don't recommend trying them until you're a high level and have some capital. I mean gold, to start with. The thing is though, you gotta keep your professions leveled up and relevant. If you don't, you're only going to gather partial items from nodes. Nuggets instead of ores, stems and leaves instead of the whole herb, and leather scraps instead of the whole skin or hide. So make sure you visit a major city and see your profession trainer every so often. Gathering those scraps still grants profession levels, and those scraps can all be combined into the whole thing. The whole herb or skin or ore. But the conversion rate is pretty bad, making the gathering rate pretty bad as well. You can either gather maybe 3 or 4 ores from one node if you've got the right mining level, or just maybe like 12 nuggets if you don't. And those 12 nuggets only equate to 1.2 ores. It's really not good. Try to have a leveling route with professions kept in mind. If you care about getting money from gathering while you're leveling up, it sometimes pays to just delay going to the next zone, so you can keep leveling up your professions. The biggest thing that can cause you to outlevel your professions is running too many dungeons, where you won't really find any nodes to level up your professions, but you'll get a ton of experience from killing bosses and completing dungeon quests. When I was leveling up my hunter, I actually changed my leveling route that I had planned out, just so I could keep my mining level up. And it ended up being the best choice I made when it came to making money on that character. For each of the 3 professions, there's some highs and lows when it comes to things you want to gather. For skinning, everything's pretty even though. None of the regular skins are pretty bad or undervalued, but none of them are overvalued either. It's a really nice stable medium, with the occasional rare skin or hide that can sell for a lot more than usual. It's really nice overall. For herbalism, the low point is Pandaria herbs. I don't know why, but overall herbs from there just don't sell very well, at least compared to other regions' herbs. The high point though is Legion, where the 2 million gold spider mount has been jokingly called the herbalism exclusive mount, because Legion herbs are super valuable. I think it's mostly Starlight Roses, so get to Suramar when you hit 110. Of the 3 gathering professions, I think herbalism is the best for just Legion content. For mining, just about every ore is good to sell, the exception being ores from Draenor, which sell for about as much as copper. But copper is still good for starting out. It may be my first 1,000 gold on that hunter I was talking about. Plenty of money that I promptly spent on bags so I could hold even more stuff that I had gathered. And all the other Old World Azeroth ores, Outland ores, Northrend, everything was good. Then when I delayed leveling my character, that was actually at level 80. At that point, I could go to Cataclysm Zones and Pandaria, and I had originally planned to just go to Pandaria. It's my favorite continent for my favorite expansion, but I didn't have 500 mining yet for Ghost Iron ore, so I ended up going to Vashir for a bit, because it's just a beautiful zone. It's so good. And it's got obsidian ore. And did you know it's actually pronounced Vashir? Because I've been calling it Vashir forever, and I guess the apostrophe is after the J, and the J is actually silent. And I don't know how I didn't notice that for 7 years. Huh. Anyway, if you're stuck like I was, getting obsidian ore for a little bit before moving on to the best continent, this place here after the first third of the zone was really good for me. Then what really surprised me was the value of ghost iron. It actually rivals current Legion ores in price, valued a little more than Laystone and a little less than Felslate. And it's super plentiful in Pandaria too. I mined over 700 ghost iron ores while I was leveling from 80 to 90, and with a little bit of napkin math, that got me about 12,000 gold between selling some as ores and some as bars. Almost half the money I made while leveling up was just from ghost iron, and that's really crazy to think about. There was so many ghost iron ores while I was leveling, just so many places to mine it, and I had 280 flying. I could just zip between the quest hubs and quickly go out of my way a little bit just to gather some ghost iron that I saw, and then I'd see another node and it just kept going, and there's just so much ghost iron ore. And the thing is, I don't think this money-making method's going away. Ghost iron is just kept relevant thanks to some unique collectibles, like the Panther mounts from jewel crafting and the Sky Golem mount from engineering, both of which require a lot of ghost iron ore to make. And you watching this right now, you're watching a video by a dude with less than 100 subscribers, so you could probably just go out now and just do this, and you'll get like no competition. It might be better than mining Legion ores if that's your current money-making method. And even if it's not, this is such a good gold boost on new characters. Like you can, with very little effort, buy the fastest flying in the game while you're still leveling up. It's amazing, it's so good. But don't sleep on the other money-making methods. Remember that as good as ghost iron ore is, it was still only half my income. Don't neglect your other profession, keep them both leveled up, and make sure you're gathering and selling your skins and herbs, cloth, uncommon gear, and you'll have a nice amount of gold in your pocket when you finish leveling up. And that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you're Alliance and I see you gathering ghost iron, I'm gonna come gank you. Okay, bye!